Okay, so now we're supposed to use synthetic division to see if the first expression is a factor of the second. Well, how does that going to work? Well, this, if it divides into this evenly, is going to be a factor. So this will be one of the factors. And whatever we divide into, and if it's even, have a remainder of 0, that's going to be our other factor. And so that would be how we do our factors. So what do we have? Well, we have k is 2, and then we put in the rest of our stuff. And it's 3, 2, 1, 0. So we have everything we need. We don't have to add anything. So now we bring that down. That's 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. That's a remainder. It doesn't have a nice even 0 there, so it's not a factor. Okay, and so that's all we could do. We did our synthetic division, but we found that it's not actually a factor. Okay, what about the next one? Well, now we have k as a half, so we'll put 1/2. Now we have 4, 3, 0, x squared, 2, 1, nothing. So we have a 2, a -1, a 0, a 2, and a -1. All right, so let's bring that down. That's 2. Half of 2 is going to be 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Multiply, that's 0. So add that, that's 0. Multiply again, that's 0. Bring that down, that's 2. Half of 2 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. All right, so we have a remainder here of 0. So that is a factor. So our factor is going to be x minus 1/2. And now this is going to be x cubed. And then we have x squared, x, and then just a number. So it's going to then be 2x to the third plus 2. And so that is how we would factor that one based on just is that a factor of this? And it is. All right, so this is going to be the same kind of thing, and almost, but it says use the graph of the third degree polynomial. So, we have our third degree polynomial. This is an odd function. K is greater than 0. Again, we have an odd function, k greater than 0. We're supposed to have one factor to write the factored form of the polynomial suggested by the graph. Well, what is a factor? Well, remember, factors are going to be, if you set it equal to 0, then you get that value. Well, where is it going to be 0? Well, that's where it's going to be 0. And what's that going to be? That's going to be x equals a -1. Okay, and then your y is equal to 0. So if we have that, what we do is we solve and set that equal to 0. So then we get x plus 1 is equal to 0. So that is the factor. Okay. Now, what is the factor with? Well, this says this is one factor, and we just found the second factor. So we're supposed to write the factored form of the polynomial. Well, I'm going to say that's x plus 1 times x squared minus x plus 3. Okay, and that's all we have to do. It doesn't say go ahead and divide it again to see if there's another one. It just says just find the factor form suggested. If this is one of the factors, what's the other one? The other one's going to be that. Same thing over here. Well, here, where does it cross? It crosses right there. And so that's x equals a -3. And so if we solve and get it equal to that, that gives us x plus 3 equals 0. So this is the factor then. And here is our other one. So we have x plus 3, x squared plus 2x plus 2. And so that would be the two factored forms based on the graph. And again, all we're worried about is just getting that one more factor and then using this factor as the second one. All right, so now we have some applications. So it says the length is x plus 5. The area, now this is of a rectangle, so we have a rectangle. So let's draw our rectangle so we know what we're talking about here. So length is x plus 5, so the longer side. And the area is equal to 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. Find the width. Well, what is the area? Well, area of a rectangle is length times width. If we're supposed to find width, we have to divide by L. And so width is going to be equal to our area divided by the length. Now, can we do this via synthetic division? Sure. We can say that's actually x minus a minus 5, and we'll have a minus 5 or a negative 5 out here. And so now we just use our numbers here, 2, 9, and minus 5. And so now we bring that down, that's 2, multiply there, that's a negative 10, and add those together, we get negative 1, multiply that, that's a positive 5, add that, we get 0. And so this is going to be, well, it starts at x squared, so this is going to be x and a number, and then our remainder is 0. So what we get is the width is equal to 2x minus 1. Okay. And that's all we know. I mean, we don't know any units or anything like that. We just know that width is 2x minus 1. And so if we went back, we could label our width as 2x minus 1. Now, if we multiplied those two together, we better get the area. And if we want to think about that for our check, we can say x plus 5 times 2x minus 1. So that's going to be a 2x squared, and that's going to be a minus x. That's going to be plus 10x minus 5. And so that's going to be a 9x, so 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. That checks, and so our check works. What about this one? So it says the length is 3x minus 4. The area is that, and I'm assuming what we have, again, is going to be some kind of a rectangle. It doesn't say that, but it only gives us the length, and it says it's going to be length and width and area. So some problems you have to kind of decipher what they're looking for. And so that's what we just did. We knew it has a length and a width, and we have an area. So area is just length times width. So this is going to be 3x minus 4, and area equals 6x to the fourth minus 8x cubed plus 9x squared. And that's so 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so then minus 9x minus 4. All right. Now we already know that width is equal to the area over the length. And so that's going to give us 6x to the fourth minus 8x cubed plus 9x squared minus 9x minus 4 all over 3x minus 4. Now, are we in the form we need x minus k? No. What we need to do is we have to multiply this by 1/3. And so we have to multiply the numerator by 1/3. And when we take that by 1/3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Then we're going to have our x minus k format. Okay. So 6 divided by 3 is 2x to the fourth. 8 divided by 3, well, that's just minus 8 over 3x cubed. 9 divided by 3 is 3x squared. 9 divided by 3 again is going to be minus 3x. And then minus 4 over 3 divided by, and now we have x minus 4/3. Okay, now it's not super nice. Our k is 4/3. Now we have to do our synthetic division. So we'll have a 2, negative 8 over 3, 3, minus 3, and a minus 4 over 3. Okay. Now, let's see what we get here. So we bring down our 2. 4/3 times 2, that's going to give us 8/3. Well, 8/3 minus 8/3 is 0. 0 times that's 0. 3 plus that's 3. Now 4/3 times 3 is going to be 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. 4/3 times 1 is 4/3. 4/3 minus 4/3 is 0. That's our remainder of 0. So our width is just what's left over. And so this is going to be x to the third, because it's 1 less than that, x squared, x, and nothing. So we'll get 2x to the third plus 3x, and then plus 1. Okay, and then that's all we know. And so that will be our width. Okay, so sometimes, again, they don't always give you everything and you need that, for instance, that this is a rectangle, but all they give you, the length, the width, and the area, makes it fit that it has to be a rectangle in this sense. All right, so let's stop there and we'll come back.